Hey, it's your old pal Fernbark. I haven't done a morning wood video in a while, and I apologize to those who enjoy those kind of things. I've been dicking around with the MREs and the canteen cup kind of thing. But I thought it'd be nice to go ahead and just kind of do an update up here at Morningwood. It's January, I don't know, like 8 or 9. And it's actually unseasonably warm. I just put my raincoat on because it started raining again. It was actually nice. A little while ago, there was actually a little bit of sunshine poking out. It was pretty nice. There was a huge windstorm in the middle of last week, and it really tore at my neighborhood where I live. But I came up here and not too bad. Nothing was blown over, so I was pretty amazed. Usually I come up here and there's a couple small pine trees that are knocked over and whatnot, but nothing was tipped over, nothing, so I was pleasantly surprised. The camper's looking a little scary. Got some greenage going on up on top. I walked inside there, and it is damp. I got to figure out something to get rid of the moisture in there, and don't tell me dry as air and all that kind of stuff. I sold marine supplies for 17 years, and the amount of moisture I have in there, none of those products. I'm gonna have to hook up like an actual dehumidifier to get that moisture out. Back of the thrill wagon. People like to look at other people's stuff. There's a giant pile of tools and batteries. Anyhow, inside my camper, it's pretty damp, and the sleeping bag's a little damp, and the mattress is probably a little damp, but I have these foam pads in here and this other sleeping bag, which are perfectly dry. So what I'm going to do is just spread those out over the top and sleep on a nice dry mattress instead of a nice dry sleeping bag, and then I'll roll those up tomorrow. I'll put those in at the last minute. They don't need to be soaking up the dampness of the camper any sooner than my batteries were shot, so I had to hook up the little generator. I got a big generator and I can't get it started. It started and it ran out of gas, and then I can't get it restarted. So I got that baby hooked up, but it doesn't put out enough amps to really get the batteries charged up and the refrigerator running and all that kind of stuff. But it's working, and that makes it better than this one. Grass, right? It's always looking blinky, but I got it set down to 27 degrees, so I'm trying to get everything super duper cold in there. And then when I turn it off, this is actually a pretty decent cooler, so it'll stay cool in there for a long time. I'm not gonna have to run it all night. What is it now? It's probably in like the mid 40s, so it doesn't really need to be kept all that much colder than ambient temperature. I was gonna have a campfire right here, but I don't know, because it's nice to sit here and you can see the water a little bit. Well, for about another 2 hours till it's jet blackout. But if it keeps raining, I think I'm gonna have it up there, because then we can sit under the canopy and have the campfire right outside. The generator started. You might be asking, well, what's the big difference? Well, the difference is twice as many amps are going to the battery, so I won't have to run the generator as long, which means I can turn that noisy thing off in a little bit, but it's actually not too bad. I have it in that hole over there, and it that really dampens the sound down quite a bit. You can barely hear it over here. I mean, you can hear it, but it's not obnoxious. It's been a couple months since I stood up here and gazed out upon this beautiful water view. Kind of miss it. I like sitting up here. It's nice. I'm still puzzled why my solar panels are not keeping my batteries charged up, because for the last 2 years they have done a fine job, just a couple of those, keeping the batteries topped off. I don't have any demand on them. They've got nothing, no load on them at all. So I got to figure out what's going on there. After being up here for several hours and the rain just won't stop. I mean, it starts and stops, but it won't stop forever. I decided I'm going to set up the stove right here where this cedar tree used to be. So you can see a nice red stump residue. I'm going to level that out. And obviously, this stump is going to have to go.
Hello.
Hey. Holy smokes, you're down there in the grotto.
In the grotto. Was that an Elvis Presley song?
I don't know.
In the grotto.
Jay's got his hammock rolling up here in a nice secluded area. I guess he got tired of sleeping, or it was warm and dry, so he came up to Morningwood. Well, I invited about 200 people up here to Morningwood to hang out with me by the fire pit, and the only person that showed up was Anonymous Dave. So Anonymous Dave gets my last packet of Christmas crack. There you go, buddy.
Thank you very much.
So if you're new to the channel, oftentimes when I'm up in the woods enjoying a nice campfire, looking at the woods, I'll have a little bit of goose pate with port wine. And sometimes friends will bring stuff. I might also have some Army brand chopped pork. Ooh, are there binders added?
There are binders.
That's the good stuff.
Polish binders.
If there's binders, Polish binders. Pork, Army. What's that called? It's like 8 seconds ago. I can't remember.
Chopped pork. So basically, it looks like spam from Poland.
Yeah, it's Polish spam. But this is the goodness right here. This is the goose pate with port wine. All right, I'm going in for the big dip. Got my Townhouse Flips cracker. Oh, which I busted. Dang it. Look at that. Let's bring it in close. Yummy.
On a wood bar and grill.
Yeah, so here we are. My camera's askew. Much like myself. Here we are. What you making there, Anonymous D?
Having a little Jim Beam and Diet Coke.
Man, that sounds delicious.
It is.
Here's the inside of my tent. I can't see the camera anymore. I'm trying to get the fire in. Oh my God, look at that thing. Woo! That's toasty.